Hello, this is my diorama submission. Well, my fourth take, I believe, so far for this diorama. So going over it, first we have here my block out phase, which I've mentioned before, not entirely block out due to an issue, but there is the untouched block out as it was in the submission. My likeness and with yeah, so my likeness phase, building off of the block out, meant to tell the story. Here we have my like out, which is just meant to give everything its form. Everything looks closer to how it should be, to like its real to the real life items like it should. And my subdivision phase, where everything's more detailed than before, a bit more nuances in the pieces, such as this pill bottle or this incense burner. Frame selected. Come on, selected. All right. And for as you can see, the story I've been going with here is a type of chapel that's being raided, as is with with one of the few instances of like conflict having happened being these leftover spent bullet cases and some tear gas thrown out. The place is a bit messed up, uh, as it's meant to be more of a cult chapel, as we're going off of the inspiration of previous real world cults that use Christianity as a springboard to lure people in, which is usually how plenty of them start, they as they use Christianity as like plenty of them use Christianity as like a reference point to as like a point of familiarity for like a lot of people. Going over my sub D phase, for the most part, everything wasn't too hard, as a lot of the furniture and shapes used are pretty simple geometric, with very few items being more than function over form, as plenty of items such as the altar, the podium, or the lectern that's called, and etc. And like most of the cross is rather just simple as is. But one thing that did give me a bit of trouble was the piano, as as for my sub D phase, I didn't start all over, as instead I just carried the same thing from the block out and likeness to the sub D. This thing ended up being like multiple different parts that I had to reconfigure the topology for, just to just to get it to look like this. But I'm at least pretty satisfied with how I was able to get the keys on it to resemble how they look. Other than that, everything like I'm at least glad just about I believe that's about all my items so far accounted for. Uh, given sub D, everything naturally, aside from curves or natural objects like these apples that would need sculpting, everything else pretty just taken care of. And I think that's about it for this submission.